All right, hello and welcome. So what we have here is a classic setup where we have two parents, John and Jila, and they're saving for the education of their daughter, Gabrielle. They estimate that the expenses will be $30,000 per year when they enter university in 18 years. The return of their university investment account over the next few decades will be 14%. How much money must they deposit in the bank each year so they will be completely supported through 4 years of university? So, what we need to do is actually do this in two different steps. So, step one will be calculate PV of tuition. So we can do this in many different methods. I'm going to do this in two different methods. Method one, I'm going to do as a timeline. And so what I'll do is structure the time here. And you know what? Because we're just calculating the PV of the tuition, I'm going to just start my timeline at period number 18 because this is when the daughter enters university. And they have 4 years of university, so 18, 19, 20, and 21. Here, they think it's going to be $30,000 per year, and I have a discount rate of, 14%, and I can calculate the PV of cash flow, which is just going to be my future value divided by 1 plus the discount rate to the power of n. So the present value of $30,000 in 18 years from now, if they're earning 14%, is equivalent to $2,836 today. And what I can do is just zippity-doo-dah this across all 4 years and calculate the total PV here. So $9,422. That's the total PV associated with the tuition payments. So that's method number one of doing this calculation. Method two will use an Excel function. And we're calculating the present value of something. And here we're going to actually have to do this in two steps. We're going to be calculating the PV. And to do that, if you don't know how, you can just type equals PV, and you're given the arguments that you need in order for the function to work. So rate and per and payment. So rate and per payment. And of course, we're calculating PV. So my rate was given at 14%. The number of periods, this is the number of periods of the annuity, not of the time series itself. So you can see here that there are 4 payments of $30,000. So I'm going to have a number of periods of 4, and the payment is $30,000. So I'm going to type equals PV and just pass it these arguments. And I get 87,411.37. But this is the present value basically at year 17. We need to discount this 17 years to bring it to the PV of period 0. I did that directly in my timeline approach because here I'm discounting this amount 18 years. However, when we're using Excel functions, we're using the actual number of payments associated with the annuity, and there's 4 payments. So this is the present value after 4 payments, but these 4 payments start in year 18. So I actually need to discount this 87,000 back to time period 0. And the way I can do that is with, of course, I could use the PV function. So rate and per is going to be 17. My payment is going to be 0, and my future value is going to be this 87,000. And I get this $9,422, which matches what I just calculated. Alternatively, I could do my future value divided by 1 plus the discount rate, which is 14%. So I'll do that to the power of 17, and I should get the same amount. So there we have it. So that's step one, to calculate the present value of the tuition. Step two now, which I'll put over here maybe, calculate annual payment. So I think how much money must be deposited in the bank so that their daughter will be completely supported through 4 years of university. All right, so if we don't really know anything, the best way to do this would be through your financial calculator or through the equivalent time value of money function in Excel. This would be the payment function. So you can type equals payment, and I can see there's rate and per and PV that are required. Rate and per PV. And payment is what we're calculating. 14%, 17 years, and our PV is this 9,422. So equals PMT, rate, and per, and PV. Now, for some reason, I don't know exactly why, my N per here is formatted as a percentage. Shouldn't be. And I get 1,400 and what is it, $78.60. So this is the final answer here to this question. What am I trying to do? Final answer. All right, I hope that you found this useful. Please, if you have any questions, reach out. Otherwise, take care, everyone.